Hi, I'm Danny Butler.
Hi, I'm Sandy Plenty.
And apparently I'm Fred Durst this week.
Rolling.
hang on. I'm Stu Day.
There he is.
And this is the Trialtube podcast.
Yay!
Right, so welcome back once again, and we're about to start a brand new podcast. The first few have gone rather well, I think, boys, don't you?
I'm quite surprised how many people have said such nice things, apart from, you get a couple of moaning ones going, this is rubbish. But on the whole, people are actually really enjoying it, which is good, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been at a few club trials recently and there's been some really nice comments, blown away by it, to be honest. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you very much for everybody that has taken the time to listen to the podcast, watch us here on YouTube. And
they've been leaving some nice messages on the YouTube ones. I've been reading down and felt quite flattered.
Yeah, we all read the comments, let's be honest. You're not supposed to on the internet, are you?
No, and I've sent a few replies, which is nice. It's really nice to engage with you all, actually, so thank you.
Yeah, do you know what I've really enjoyed? That neither myself or Sandy or you, Dan, have had to actually fight our corner on the negative ones, because we've had the fans do it for us, which has been really good.
Yeah, it makes a change.
Yeah, Trialtube is... basically, all the subscriber base, I think, on Trialtube, this isn't like blowing smoke up their rear end right now, but I think most of the fan base of Trialtube are just happy to have trials content.
Yeah, totally.
There's just something to tune into other than Radio 2. And you know what I mean? They're quite liking driving along, listening to it, or just putting it on the YouTube.
And I think it's a really good opportunity for us just to say thank you very much, because without you,
thank you,
we wouldn't
we wouldn't be carrying on.
Doing it. We would not be doing it.
And it does inspire us to make more content as well. If we, I'm not saying come up to me and give me a big hug anywhere, if you know what I mean. That sort of crap happened at Telford. It was weird.
A fist pump is all we need. And
yeah,
I'm up for hugs.
Sandy's up
Free
for
hugs.
Yeah.
Is that going to be a new Sorrow t-shirt?
Yeah.
Free hugs.
Free hugs. Free section hugs at the Vic Britain. If you're wet and you can't, and you need a nappy.
I tell you what, mate, I needed a bloody hug at the Vic Britain.
Oh, we'll come to that in a bit.
Yeah, we'll come to that in a bit.
It looked like it was a battle zone.
It was a war zone.
Oosh.
Now, as always, the sponsor for this episode, there's always a sponsor for the episode, which is lovely. We're super happy, by the way. Again, thank you to all the people that have sponsored episodes so far. As we've gone along, we've had the guys from Road and Trials, we've had Kamiomoto, we've had Sorry UK, whoever that guy is, and
we've got another one coming up that we're not going to say yet.
Yeah, we're not going to say that one yet.
We had John Shirt.
We had John Shirt, who obviously was gracious enough to grace us with his presence on Trialtube as well.
It was very good, wasn't it?
Watched that the other day, actually. Rather good.
Very nice to see him just in flow mode. It was very good.
Yeah, it was cool, man.
Yeah.
I think he was super honest. I think when we do any interviews on Trialtube, I try and say to people, I'm just like, just talk to me, don't talk to the camera.
And just be yourself.
Just be yourself.
Apparently, it's not that easy to do. A lot of people freak out about it.
I think we could do a little bit more with Mr. Shirt. I think, perhaps get him in.
Definitely will do.
Well, we have got some nice surprises coming up in the coming weeks, which I haven't told you that information yet, Sandy. So I'll see how you react there. I've tried to keep everything under my hat this week. Suspense, I know.
Good.
So this week's podcast is sponsored by
the Trials Bulgaria Holiday Company.
Okay.
So
it's
those
a place
guys,
I want to go.
Yeah.
You coming with me?
I hope so. Yeah, I've got a lot of questions about this. I've got a lot of questions. We'll save them for later. But yeah, I want to know
so
more.
basically, obviously, the whole idea or the premise of the business is that you can, if you are like-minded as we are, and you fancy going away on holiday, but not necessarily sunning yourself on a beach, and it doesn't have to be for a long break. It can be a matter of days, or a group of lads or lasses,
and you can do as much or as little as you want.
You can do as much. I'll tell you what, you do a lot. You do a lot of riding, and I mean a lot.
So when did you went there? When was it? Last year?
Yeah, it was last year. I'm going to say August, early September.
And you ride their bikes?
Yep. So you turn up. You don't have to take any of your own gear if you don't want to. I'm a diva, so I packed the extra baggage and took my own boots and gear.
Doesn't sound like you, man.
No, I know, right? No, not at all. No, definitely not. Yeah.
And you're on TRS 250s?
Yep, TRS 1Rs.
Yep.
Nice.
So quite nice,
Oh, wow.
Do the job.
Yeah, I think they've got like 10 of them, 12 of them.
So they've invested. And
oh, yeah, they're not messing around. Yeah, the bikes
No
rode like
language barrier problems?
No. So, good thing is, the guys that run the Trials Bulgaria Holiday Company, they've They're fluent, basically.
So they are Bulgarians?
Yeah, it's an expat. Rob, who lives out there, he also, by the way, he also runs a fabulous bakery and restaurant.
Now we're talking.
Right. Now, the riding portion, we're going to get onto this a bit later in the halfway point. The riding portion is epic, which I'll tell you about. But the food, gentlemen.
I'm on a diet. Don't talk to me about food. Last podcast, I looked at my podgy belly sticking out, and that's me on a mission.
There's been a few comments, actually, about my little skinny pot belly.
Apparently, the camera adds £3?
£10.
I think it's two barrels on me. It was like, no.
So, mate, it's what it is. What it is now, you'll notice this week I'm like well chilled doing the big hoodie thing. where we film, by the way, is absolutely freezing, but it's good for the cameras.
It is freezing. Can you tell? You've got nip on.
Isn't that what Kuriyama used to have on the back of his jeans at one point? Nip on.
I think that's a Japanese brand, mate.
We've been told we don't talk enough. Oh, by the way, talking about feedback,
yes.
We had with the subscriber base that Trialtube now has, we're very fortunate to have almost 13,000 people that are super interested, and we have about just shy of, on average, about 700,000 impressions a month.
Fantastic.
And last month about 70,000 views on the channel. So we really, really appreciate that. But with all of those numbers that I've just given you, guess how many negative comments we had?
Oh, about 4.
One I saw.
One.
Was it one?
One.
Oh,
we had one negative comment.
That's fine.
Can we name and shame him?
No.
I haven't. I can't remember his name. I used to do something in the beginning.
He was our sausage of the week.
Yeah,
then.
I was just going to say we used to. Is
he
something.
the one that was? I'm 3 minutes in and this is rubbish.
Yeah, which is
I'm
funny
now
because
7
the intro
minutes in
lasts
and I'm
longer
going
than
to
3
unsubscribe.
Well, hey, do you know what? One out of how many?
What a Burke.
12,759 as of this morning.
So I'm going to take that.
Subscribers.
Said it before, you can't please them all.
Die trying, Stu. Die trying.
Or flick the bird to the ones that you're never going to win over.
I genuinely would like to thank that one guy who said, also, I'm big for idle threats, and he said at 3 minutes he was unsubscribing, but then continued to watch to 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And then came back later on, so that tells me
Good on him.
He gave us 3 views there. So.
Click.
Hey, you can't,
chuff off.
Well,
anyway.
That's the one. Anyway, moving on.
Let's look at this period machine in the corner.
So this bike...
I can't. Firstly,
go on.
Wow, pink.
I know.
And jade,
turquoise, jade. Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
It's unique.
So this is my buddy Jim Williams's, and I asked him if we could have it on the show, and he said yes. I picked it up from him this morning.
So for those of you that are listening to this over Spotify and Apple, thank you, by the way, don't crash your car. In the studio this week, we have a 1992 Montesa Secota 310,
which was piloted back in the day by a very, very young Mark Colomer.
Yeah, I saw a bit of those photos that Sandy shared with us. It's,
a very baby-faced, upside-down forks, which was very period for the time. And as we know, upside-down forks are incredible for road racing and motocross.
Yeah, I think it was unsprung weight issue, was it?
Not so much for trials, because that's just moved all the weight higher up than it needs to be, and exposes all the lovely fork legs to be smashed against rocks and mud and slime. And they didn't last very long, really, did they? About a period of 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah,
no, they had a comeback, man. They had a comeback in one bike, didn't they?
Then common sense prevailed.
Well, one thing
they put them back the right way round.
Tell you about these forks is Jim actually owns and runs JTEC Suspension, so the man knows a thing or two about valving suspension.
Okay, fair play.
And I've got some notes here on the bike. He's actually done quite a lot of work to this fork, and I've ridden it, and I think it works better than probably
most people's brand new ones.
Yes, it's a very, very good fork. He bought it actually as apparently had been restored, so it looked very pretty, but it was all
cosmetically restored.
Smoke and mirrors a little bit. So he's rebuilt the engine with new old stock parts. He's gone quite in depth with that. And I think you summed it up earlier. It's his daily, so he still trials it.
Yeah. So it's never going to be a concours machine. It's just a really pretty, usable classic.
Once he's got the mechanics going, Stu, the plan is to actually strip it, repaint, and go for that pristine.
Okay.
He's all about making sure the bike runs right first. And if you see this guy operate on it, he's no slouch.
Oh, fair play.
Fair play to him. Now, and I also know that obviously Mark Colomé was the rider of the time because there's a few shots of him riding the indoor bike. But during that same period, I know that later on in the season that Mark Colomé actually switched from the Montesa to Beta, and he was riding the first, shall we say, the first versions of the Techno.
So mid-season switch.
I think it was a mid-season switch because during that season, 92, 93.
Yep.
That period, Colomé either went from the Beta prototype onto this or from this to the Beta prototype. I can't remember fully, but I do know that was the crossover period. So I'm very sure somebody will educate me in the comments.
I'm sure there'll be a Trevor putting us in the right direction.
There always.
I unloaded it out of Sandy's pickup, and what surprised me, it's lighter than your TYZ by a lot.
Really?
Mate, there isn't a lot that isn't lighter than my TYZ.
It's like a lot lighter. It's lighter than your Beta TR34. It felt physically lighter, and I'm like, well, I'm a little bit surprised here.
One thing that's pretty trick on it is the airbox was designed by Jim and 3D printed, so he got it running a lot better just by that modification. There was talk of maybe making them for other people, but he's just trying to get this one dialed in.
I would imagine it's a very limited market.
I don't think
there's not many left.
No, you don't really see the 310 very often. No. I mean, I do know a few people that have actually got 311s that came with the big Volucci frame, the big aluminium.
Okay. That was the red and white one, wasn't it?
Yeah, red and white, or like red and silver, like that sort of colour.
So what year was that?
93, 94.
Yeah. Okay, so it's the next
Yeah, the next evolution. I also know that was the first Montesa to come with a HRC lump in it.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, first HRC two-stroke lump was the 311.
So this is still very much Montesa. When did the acquisition take place?
I think it's just slowly.
93, 94,
yeah. And then they just slowly kept creeping more and more and more in.
It became less Montesa. I think this could we say that this is the last Montesa?
Real
Montesa,
yeah.
Not like.
I think it's
or the 311
getting to that way. Yeah, the 311, and certainly when the 314 come in, and of course the legendary 315, that was very, very much Honda influenced.
I feel like the 314 was like I'm going to say that was a bit of an unsung hero bike because Colomé on the 314 was a force to be reckoned with. Yes, just remember him having them super like anodized purple stanchions, gold fork legs.
Trick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was so trick.
It was Honda. And then of course you've got Geordie on the gas. And Dougie was coming through on the Techno. It was quite an era of
fabulous era,
fabulous riders, fabulous bikes. It was,
and I think this, dare we call it Evo? I think these are the future classics.
Oh, 100%. No two ways about it. I mean, as we know, the Pre-65 or Brit Shock, as Ben would say, is a big thing, and that's already established. The Twin Shock is a huge thing. This, the air cool monos are very, very much on the up, and me and Dan have talked about this. We need to.
I've talked about buying one all the time. That's what
we do think there is a place for the auto unsung heroes, which is the pre-2000 water cools. That is going to become a future class. I am 100% sure.
Yeah, 100%. I think that this. Let's be honest. They are. I think they're a bit of a dying breed just because I think getting parts for this, let's be honest, there ain't going to be many people carrying the jade teal graphite plastics.
He's actually got a second set of plastics.
Has he?
And he said to me this morning when I picked it up, I could have put the new plastics on, but he's going to save that for when he does the full restoration. But
that's cool.
I think when he found that second set of plastics, it was like,
hold on to them.
Bye.
Well, tell him from me that it would make, when he's done the full restoration, it might make a nice Trialtube bike.
Yeah. It rides. Oh, yeah. He's got it riding very well.
Well, that really is half the battle. If you're going to ride it as a daily, I think the one thing that was, from the TYZ that we had on here a few weeks ago, which is again one of my personal bikes, the thing that I wanted to find was a riding workable. I can take that bike out of the garage, slap a number on it, and crack on,
and it'll finish.
And it'll finish, no doubt. I'd probably ride the Scottish on it.
Better than some of the more modern bikes.
Yeah, better than some of the modern bikes. I don't ride it very often, of course.
Controversial, but true.
Some of them, anyway. Some of them.
Yes.
Some of them. So yeah, it's definitely a weapon, and you must thank Jim for us for
No,
for
definitely.
No, fair play.
I'm going to pop it back.
Can we? Is this our first rate your ride? It is really, isn't it?
Yeah.
For me,
pop in the comments.
For me, that's a thumbs up.
That's a thumbs up.
It.
What are we saying if we did it as like a cool wall sort of thing? And you've got like uncool, okay, cool,
ice cold,
Sub-Zero right at the top. What
also-
do you think?
This for me is in the middle.
In the middle.
It's in the middle.
It's cool. It's just
So I'm going
cool.
to say it's up there for me for the reason I ride next to this bike all the time. I've got one last funny story about this bike. So,
Okay.
Did a club trial 2-3 weeks ago. It was Mid Wales, Newtown, Clive Club. Great trial, well done. And I was just coming into section 5, so you went down, and section 6, you came back up out of this gully. I was sort of psyching myself up and getting ready to go. You know when you're just about to make eye contact with the observer and get invited into the section. And I saw this very bike just come up the banking in the next section with no rider, just flying through the air.
Ghosted.
And I just turned to my mate and went, oh, I didn't fucking need that. And then we carried on.
Just what you needed coming into a section, that.
Well, so all I was thinking about is what was, so that was...
Oh, bless.
That's
It happens to us all.
But do you know what? He did well that trial and stayed on it all the next sections. But I think his plan was save the bike.
yeah.
Didn't want the bike to come back
We've
down.
all had that moment, I think, when you're on the bike where you know it's gone Pete Tong, and your initial reaction is, please God, no, take me, not the bike.
Yeah,
take
just
me.
throw it away.
Yeah, you throw it to the top.
I've
don't
actually
you?
seen lads purposefully throw themselves under the bike to save the bike. No, not my new bike.
It's getting burned.
All the bruises and everything.
I'm going to be honest. That was me first ride out up Hawk's Nest on the new gas.
Oh, yeah?
Was you really?
I was. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I was very much so still getting used to the bike. It's a big change for me. I didn't really talk about obviously the Sherco going back and stuff like that much on that episode because I thought it took away from the gas-ness of the episode. So I didn't talk about the Sherco. There was nothing wrong with the Sherco, by the way.
You gelled really well with that.
Yeah, I did. I just didn't get enough time to ride it.
No, you were contracted to go and work away for a good few weeks, and that was that. And
But this is a new year. This is
New
a
year, new
Danny.
bike.
all new.
And yeah, the big climb, if you know Hawk's Nest well, down at the bottom by the stream, there's a couple of extremely...
very, very tasty hill climbs. There's not a get out halfway up.
Oh, really?
No.
Commitment.
Oh, yeah. And if you're not up it, you're sledging back down it at
with the
warp
bike,
speed.
with the bike doing end-to-end
Gravity
cartwheels.
wins.
I've done a few trials there, but I think we stayed up top quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a bit tasty down that bottom.
Yeah, well, basically what happened was it was all going a bit too well.
Okay.
And,
Classic.
and
Getting a bit cocky.
yeah, I deserved everything I got.
Okay. That's fair, isn't it?
Yeah, so the bike shot out the top of this. Well, we're at the top of this climb, and normally I could have given it like any other bike. Obviously, the Sherco had a 5-speed box. The Gas has got a 6-speed box. The Sherco in third had more legs. And the Gasser just... I mean, they love a rev, a Gasser.
Yeah.
But she was brand new. She was still tight.
Oh, yeah, she was still tight, and I was like running it in.
Have you changed the oil yet?
No, we're not that far running yet.
Oh, wow.
But I literally just what can I say? I was just enjoying myself, as we do. And I was like, yeah, I'll hit that. No bothers. No problems. She's running mint. It's all good.
We've
and I
all
was
had
like,
running dramas.
yeah. Well, you know
had
what the
a
funny
massive
thing
running
is?
drama.
I've been at the factory when when you get your new bike and then the shop or somebody will say, make sure you run it in. I'm like, I ain't being funny here, lads, but I've been at the factory and there's some youth sat on a dyno all day with headphones on with the brand new bikes that have been built
Just screaming it away.
flat out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then there'll be somebody pottering around a club trial going, I'm just running it in.
yeah.
And you're like, you ain't running in nothing. Like, I've seen him, my man over in Spain, in fifth.
It's funny enough, when I watched the, you picking the bike up from John's shirts, I watched the video at home literally 2 nights ago. You had those lovely close-up shots of the bike side on, and I was like, Oh, he's dropped that. There's a rub mark there.
Yeah. Well,
He went, I've done a boo-boo. I've really scratched my exhaust.
yeah, I've got a scratch on the exhaust, and I've got a nick out the frame. And
It's real life.
It's life. And
These bikes are
said,
used.
you didn't buy it to look at.
No.
We're bought to ride. It's a tool.
Do you know what's nice though is the fact that we are we've got these lovely bikes, but we still care about them.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Like mine just wouldn't go away dirty. It just gets clean.
It's just one of those things, isn't it? We love them, but we've got to abuse them. That is what they were built to do.
It's I've just had a text, by the way.
No way.
Somebody
Really?
Somebody said to me previously, you keep looking down at your phone when you're on the. Actually, it was Kerry from Road and Trials. So Kerry, I know you're watching this, and I know you're scrutinising my every move. Right, so she was like, you keep looking at your phone, and I was like, you're not going to believe this, but I've got notes on my phone, by the way. I'm not just like sat here like, like liking people's
Playing
pictures.
Snake.
Playing Snake.
Playing with his
So what else are we
snake.
going to talk about? We should talk about the Barcelona.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Barcelona, and we're going to talk about the Telford show, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait there. I've got notes.
Oh,
I just
okay.
told you I've got notes.
Okay, go on
We
then.
have all these off.
We're
Right.
back.
We are going to talk about Barcelona. That's next, boys. So, obviously,
Okay.
we've had the start of the X-Trial season.
Which is a long season.
It
It's
is
not
this
like
time.
it used to be, sort of bam, 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 and then start the outdoors.
And what's really special about Barcelona is,
It was the first indoor ever.
and there's a
the
women's,
ladies' event.
Yes, there is.
which is cool.
Which is
Sandy was
cool.
impressed then that I had that fat ready, weren't you? It's just...
We rehearsed this little
Yeah,
sequence.
we do.
We didn't.
Yeah, Barcelona was the first indoor
I
ever.
think it's fantastic to put the women in the spotlight, indoors, and showcase what they can do, which is a lot. They are incredibly good riders. Certainly the Women's World Championship, it's hot. It's really, the riding level is great. The professionalism is out there. It matches the lads. And they should have more prestige.
Yeah, long time coming.
They should. They
Yeah,
should.
too right.
I think it's fantastic.
I think just as the Barcelona, I think it's called the International Women's Cup, the actual indoor
Yep.
for the it's not called the X Trial, it's called the International Women's Cup for the ladies. It's a shame that there's only one round, boys. I couldn't remember if there are more rounds this year, so I do apologise.
I'm sure there is later in the year.
Yeah.
I think.
Hopefully in years to come, it'll just run in tandem, because that's how it should be.
It should. You know, we had a little bit of a gripe about, and it was only a tiny gripe. It was at the DL12. There wasn't the intermission. Well, if you've got women there riding, that's brilliant. It splits it up. Right, the lads are out,
Yeah.
the girls are out, the lads are out, the girls.
And why
are out.
not some youth stuff as well?
Well, absolutely.
You know what? I think it'd be really cool, actually, Sandy, because if we had like youth, shall we say like trial 2, indoor
Yeah.
trial 2?
Yeah.
I mean, the actual indoors only run for one lap anyway. I know that the promoters now are probably going to say that's not how it works, and you have no idea, and blah blah blah.
Of course.
We've got so much other things going on in the night, which is completely fair, and we appreciate the support, but. Just as an idea, wouldn't it be great if the DL12 next time around?
Yeah.
We can only use that as a reference because that's
is
our
only a
British.
reference.
But look at Supercross. You've got the Futures Race, which is, it's the stepping stone.
Yeah.
How are these young riders expected to suddenly just go, okay, bang, you're in it? You need to build up.
You've just said that then, and do you know who else said that?
Go on.
Brian Deegan.
The Deegs.
Yeah,
What a legend.
like Danger Boy's dad.
Yes.
Also, Met
38.
Militia.
Mr. of the Metal Militia.
Mr. Met Militia. The only man to ever win a Supercross by ghosting his bike over the line.
That was just
Which-
incredible. I think they made it illegal after that.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure his lad will do it when he wins.
Is it only at San Francisco he did it or something like that?
He's
He only,
only
did,
won
one,
once.
he only
Yeah.
did once and had a big wrist slapping, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he had a fine, but
it was right.
So he
afford
said it.
So he said with Supercross, how are the riders supposed to just jump from motocross straight into Supercross?
Exactly.
Because
It's too big.
Supercross was too big, too scary. There was also
And when
another-
you think how many young, there's been totally selfish about the world, sod off world, how many young British riders we've got coming through.
Yeah.
And if they could have, like you say, a Trial 2 version, just one quick lap in between, just to get them, A, used to riding
Yeah.
indoors, B, used to ride in front of a massive crowd and the pressure.
We need a-
slightly easier sections. I think that would be a fantastic.
Yeah, we need a
fantastic
platform
bit. I think
to
that'd be
bring them
incredible.
through, don't we? We need,
Yeah.
because what will happen again, and another motocross analogy is the riders that did really well were the perhaps more privileged riders who had their own track at home. So yes, I know a lot of UK riders have facilities at home. They have indoor a bit like your place, but a way to practice. Well, those riders that don't have that are at a disadvantage. So let's just have a platform where they can come and have a go.
And even if it is just once a year, at the end of the day, if you finish, shall we say, in Trial 2 at the British Championship, I know there's a lot of like older riders in Trial 2 as well.
Of course.
But for the younger guys like Jamie Galloway, people like that that are on the way up.
You could put the event on an hour or two earlier in the afternoon and have...
Or the day before.
They had the expo this year, didn't they? So
Yes.
let's be honest, they could run, ticketed of course, Jake, you'll like that.
Of course.
Earlier on in the day, because they've got the arena for the day and the sections are already built, and they were built this year because they had all that walk around.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool if you could go, like us, Trials Fanatics,
That's a good idea.
I'd love that.
and have a Trial 2 indoor
But
prior?
once again, just like you alluded to earlier on, it's easy for us to say sat
Of
here.
course.
Yeah,
We're
of
not
course
the-
it is.
we're not trying
We're
to...
only bouncing ideas around. We're not.
course we are.
We're not criticising anyone.
No.
We're not critiquing anyone. We're just popping ideas.
But we'd
out
like
there.
to see it, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we would like to see it.
And have the
Although,
ladies there as well.
did you see how Switzerland we were then? That was insane, wasn't it? Somebody's going to comment and be like, no balls.
So back to
Diplomatic.
Barcelona.
Yeah, back to Barcelona and the ladies.
And the ladies' winner was.
It was Berta Abayan.
I never saw that one coming. I know she's been on knocking on the door and been super close, but you can get into a little bit of a bow syndrome.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to touch Emma because she's a goddess and she's ridden that well for that long.
That's just going to drive Emma on.
Yes, definitely.
That's actually just going to make her even more
properly.
fired up.
Yeah. She'll have been spitting sparks after that, I'm sure.
And 5th place. I'm sorry, I'm missing 3rd and 4th. I'm really excited.
Who was third and fourth?
Who was still involved? So it was Berta Abayan,
Yep.
Emma Bristow.
Yep.
Oh my!
Well, 5th
Andrea,
place.
Andrea Sofia Rubino.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
Listen, that's a mouthful, all right?
Fair play.
Andrea Sofia Rubino was 3rd. 4th was Naomi Monnier on the Montesa, and 5th was.
Alice Minter.
There you go.
Well done.
Yay. Well done. I just think awesome.
Yes.
It is good to see. Alice had that big injury, didn't she?
She's bounced right back.
I mean, and there's somebody else who's had knee surgery and stuff like that.
She's tweaked her ankle actually a little bit. She was at the Vic Britain, which we'll talk about later.
You're
But
taking it very serious.
I love the fact that she's taking it easy at the Vic Britain with a tweaked ankle.
yeah,
Probably still spanked most of the lads,
Probably.
right? Yeah.
she's a warrior. Yeah.
A battler.
But the sections at the International Cup in Barcelona for the ladies indoor were separate to the men's.
Yep.
They made a huge effort on the sections front. If you go back and watch that on xtrial.com or xtrial.tv, sorry, as it is, you'll be able to see that they've made a huge effort. To be honest, the sections really are circa, if you look back, they're sort of like circa late 90s level sections.
okay.
That's still cool.
It's cool.
That's really
but
cool.
that tells you how far the sport has moved forward.
Oh, yes.
What's driven that? Bikes combined with commitment,
Professionalism
Yeah. Okay.
is the big one.
There's plenty of people, as we've seen, because obviously we had that breaking news in the last podcast
Yeah.
that didn't end up being that breaking because obviously we filmed these.
Hey, but it was called a moment. It was
It
nice.
was a great moment. But in that moment, we were talking about the non-stop versus
Yeah.
stopping up and all that malarkey and people saying that it's holding back. But the sport from the indoor perspective, because I'm not going to talk about the outdoors, I'm just talking about the indoors here. The sport from the indoors perspective, the level at the indoor trials, ladies and men's,
Yep. It's jumped up.
has jumped up so far because of the newer style and ability of the
Yeah.
riding.
Correct.
That's
It's
the
getting
only
bonkers.
reason why.
That is the correct. And talking about the Barcelona indoor, how was your experience watching that one?
Yeah, we've got to talk about this, haven't we? We can't just gloss
You
over
have
this.
got to talk about
We've got to
the
talk
elephant
about it.
in the room
It's
that was shocking technically.
Yeah, so in the beginning of the live stream, so if anybody does, tune into the live stream, and I'm going to come out and say this right now, I was a shoe-in, by the way, for the commentary. It was literally almost me down to the wire.
Wow.
I was gutted.
What was
Maybe next
the? Can we say what was the deciding factor, or
I don't know. But
did you ask for too many?
it was, my rider consisted of gold Skittles and stuff like that.
I thought you were going to say Jaffa cake.
God no,
I
Jesus.
want a flask of milk and I want my Pringles.
Yeah, that's not. I don't get a rider.
I'd love a rider.
I love a rider.
You bought your rider, it's there.
That's for later in
Some
the
found martini. I was a shoe-in for the commentary. I was there wasn't just hints of it. There was like, I was supposed to do the indoor commentary for the end of last year, but I couldn't because of contracted shows that I had to do.
Okay.
So I missed out there. And then
This bat dummy out.
I don't know. Because I said I couldn't do the last X trial as this kind of like scuppered this time around for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, I would have been delighted to do it.
Maybe it'll come.
There'll be
It'll
definitely
come.
more
There'll
opportunities.
be another Christmas.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
And if not,
Other than
means
that-
you'll do it.
We'll be
I
off
think you
this
make a
price.
really good team, you know. I actually thought about maybe I feel like this possibly is like, you know, we do a YouTube live of Trialtube and have it streamed. I stream the live
And we chat.
onto YouTube of our commentary, so you could actually have our commentary running alongside.
That would be cool.
The actual X trial and have. Can you remember when Radio 1 did the alternative
yeah.
commentary for the World
Yes.
Cup?
Brilliant.
And it was Scott Mills and
Oh, can we do that? That'd be brilliant.
the other lad that was used to be with Scott Mills.
And let's make sure we don't have all them technical glitches where you
Yeah, but can you
stream
imagine if our
stops
live
and-
stream ran really, really well and theirs didn't, and then like we'd be ahead of it, just sat there going,
What-
so.
Commentating on a black screen.
What do you think was the problem? Because the live stream was just on, off, blocky, just...
Honestly,
all
I
over the
don't
place.
know, but I.
Was it some of that
You know what?
Spanish
I'm
wiring?
going to take this on the chin and just in case you're wondering, gents, I fixed it.
Oh,
It was it was me.
you did it.
And Marietta Evans, the foreign correspondent for the
Yes.
FIM and Trialtube podcast.
Yes.
So Marietta was on site at the indoor,
Okay.
and I sent her a message saying, "Did you know that the live stream is frozen?" And she replied with no. But she wasn't working on the live stream, but obviously knows everybody that is.
Yeah,
And
good.
she did a belt
And she
up
did
to
a
the box.
runner up to the broadcasting box and had it reset.
Unplugged it in.
And,
Switch
and had
it
turn it
reset.
off, turn it back on.
Exactly.
again.
Turned it off and turned it back on
Exactly.
again. And
You couldn't write it.
sent
could
me.
you?
I was sat on my settee and she sent me a message saying, "Is it fixed now?" And it was working, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Yep, thank you very much."
But isn't that brilliant? That's trials. That's how small trials actually is.
Yeah.
Like,
From one country to another.
one
cool.
come to another, and a couple of messages over
Do you
Instagram.
do you reckon they ran up and put in a few extra pesetas into the meter box?
I don't think they've had potatoes for a while now. I'm going to be honest. That's
You're
why
Rose. It might be an old stadium. They might have just have a box
Pesetas.
outside.
I remember my dad handing me some pesetas, like when we were at the first, I think it was like this first Spanish World Round that we went to on the bicycles, and I literally got this money in my hand, and I was like,
What, that?
"What the hell do I do with this?" And it was like
Throw it
fun
off
money.
the ferry.
Yeah.
Worth nothing.
Some of the coins used to have holes in them as well. We're like,
Yeah.
it was so random looking.
Tight. They just couldn't make a whole one.
I just couldn't make a whole one. Maybe that was like like a 50 pence piece instead of it being like 50p in a pound. Maybe you knew that was the half value of a peseta because it had a hole in the middle.
Great radio.
I don't know.
Yeah, this is pretty
So we
crap.
get back to trials
We don't
instead
talk
of-
enough trials. Right. Sorry to that one guy.
Vic Britain.
Ah.
How did that go? Other than it was wet.
I guess
Well-
there's two sides to it: how the Vic Britain went and how I went at the Vic Britain. So, how the Vic Britain went, South Shropshire.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know where the Vic is, someone did say on Facebook, "Oh yeah, it's down in Wales." No, it's in Shropshire, and there's gullies there you wouldn't believe were there. There were northern-esque gullies. It was wet. It had been wet. Mark Wells, Mickey Wilding, Jim Teague, the South Shropshire MCC crew did a great job. The field was
Quagmire.
absolute quagmire. I
Was it
thought
a tractor on, tractor off job?
it was tractor off, but
Don't you love a farmer, eh?
these two were into it. They were into it. You'd have loved it.
I know.
I think it was an old Zeta.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Anyway, that's another
bless 'em.
subject. So the trial was
Bless 'em.
good. The sections were phenomenal. Like, I'd love you guys to come and ride the Vic next year.
Well, breaking news. I'm
Unreal.
coming out of retirement.
Stu's coming back to
tights.
trials.
I haven't done a competitive trial, since 2012.
Wow.
And it's time.
12 years.
I spend 4 days a week on trials bikes, talking trials, teaching trials. And
well, let's do the Vic next year.
Well, I think we're going to post the Benrose.
I was just going to say the
I'm
guys
doing
from
the Benrose.
the guys from the Benrose Club
messaged me yesterday saying get you two to do it. So it looks like he's already reached you.
And Andy reached out and said, "Come on, let's have you three ride around together." So
the last time I rode the Benrose, I actually broke 3 fingers on the hard route.
Was that the observer that gave you a 5 and you went up and broke his fingers?
Were they both on the same hand?
Yeah.
3 of them, sorry.
3 of them were on the same hand.
2 on this one.
Believe it or not, Trials Trivia, I hit a tree with my hand, which is...
we've done that.
Right.
Can I go back to the Vic for a second?
Yeah.
Sorry. So, the Vic was great, and the sections were not too much muddy bank. It was mega gully work. So,
Stream work.
yeah, loads of stream work, couple of obviously deviations for expert, but it ran like clockwork, and it's not even a complaint, but the only thing was the field, but that's no one's fault.
That you can't. That is February
Trials.
What are you expecting?
Yeah.
Of course it is.
And I want to massive shout out to Dan Thorpe, who went round on 7.
That was an incredible ride.
Yeah,
From
Hugo
an incredible
Jervis, 14, which another incredible ride. Phil Horton won the over 40s. I watched him have a 5 on a really gnarly section, and Phil literally turned to me and said, "You can't win a trial with a 5." But then he did. He did 11.
Fair play.
And Jamie Jackson won the
Jamie Jackson.
He won it with Sam Atherton second. So some really good results.
Yeah.
Nice work, Jamie.
Ben Butterworth rode there, looking very good. I watched some of his riding.
Did you see him go up that step on unreal?
I'm going to be honest. Everybody else that you mentioned just in the riding portion.
Yes.
Jamie, Phil, Dan Thorpe. Was any of them riding an aerial or a Triumph or?
No, well, you had Rob.
No, they weren't.
No, so you had Rob Boyer.
Rob
Boyer was absolutely phenomenal rider, and then
as to as his son.
Yeah, he was there. He was scrubbing the experts off the front. Bless him. Yeah, good lad. But yeah, it was a really good trial. Great to be part of. How did I get on? Moments of brilliance and then moments of absolute shiter. But it was really good prep for me, really. So,
why not? That's what it's all about.
I really enjoyed
We're
it.
going to have to get you up to Trials Day, and because we have got some fantastic Scottish style sections.
I'd love that.
Very, very much so. And I'll beast you on them.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
That sounds good. No, I really want to... talking point about the Vic Britain is that you can tell that I haven't rode the Vic Britain, by the way. I'm just going to come out and just say very truthfully, I've never rode the Vic Britain, and I have never rode an S3 round
Yet.
Yes, very good.
Next year.
I'm always open to doing them, by the way, because I like trials. And
Go on.
it is still an S3 round, correct?
It's an S3 round. It is, yeah. It was challenging as well. That was quite a bit of a hot topic. I've done other S3s before, and they're hard. That's the nature of. They're meant to be. It's a road trial. It's traditional.
Yeah.
So it was 5%, 10% harder than normal. Mm-hmm. And as a mid-pack into rider at club level, I wasn't bothered. I loved it. The challenge was good. It wasn't a dangerous challenge.
That's what you want. Because you'd be working
proper.
Monday.
And the trial wasn't one on clean, so it was a challenge for everybody. It was good.
Is the I'm going to say this
How
because...
did you... Sorry, Dan, just put in. So how did you find your new steed?
Yeah, the new steed. So it was...
That was first time out.
Third trial.
Third trial out.
So 2 club trials. This is first road trial. I found it just grip, loads of grip for me. Still getting used to it. Still want to tweak the bars a little bit. But yeah, no, I genuinely liked it and enjoyed the fact that it was just so easy to start. And that saves so much energy through a day.
Have you got your few scratches on your machine now?
None.
None? It's still pristine?
No, it's pretty...
Friggin' lies. Nobody's doing the Vic Britain and not scratching a bike.
Well, there's a picture, actually, of the whole...
It laid down. It laid down upside down.
Yeah.
Did you lie down there gently or just go...
Yeah, well, did you see that? My hand was still on the bars, just lifting it off the ground. So. Yeah. No, it's scratched. But there was so many gases at the trial.
Was there?
New ones, yeah. It was like seemed to be,
Seemed to be the thing.
Choice.
The bike of choice. Well,
it is.
On to what I was going to say about the talking point of the S3s. The reason why I don't ride the S3
Go on.
is because
It's no stop.
Not because it's no stop. I don't mind. I've told you this before. It's because
They are no stop though, aren't they?
yeah, they are no stop. Yeah, they are supposed to be. They're supposed to
But
be.
it's traditional sections, it suits.
It's true.
no
Yeah,
stop.
yeah. Okay, so I think it's
uphill,
down to the
flowy. It's
My cup of tea, that.
yeah, I like
yeah.
it.
Actually, I think you'd like an S3.
I'll do that.
I just can't abide by watching the experts do no stop though, because for the last 5 years of watching the S3s, every time I watch the footage, it makes me not want to go there because I'll see one person who I don't know, but on the expert route, I may not know this person, and they'll get 5 for stopping, and then I'll see a more known rider roll into the section, up and jump around as much as they want, and come out with a clean.
So what you need to do
Is talk about it on the podcast.
Absolutely. And
Highlight the
expose
problem.
it.
exactly, but stop watching the footage and come and ride it.
Yeah, but I'd be given a 5 because I'm not favorited.
Yeah, because
I don't agree with
because
that.
you've just said that. Yeah. Oh, there is a bit of favouritism. Come on.
Oh, yeah, you can't-
certain
you
clubs
can't-
you go.
it's not
you
like-
know
you
the
can't
local
go
boy's
there and
going to
be
be
like-
the wonder.
Yeah.
And it goes, oh, it's all
I've got
little
eyes.
Willy, or- there is, and
Yeah.
listen, it has gone on for decades and decades,
And it will.
carry on.
Yeah, and it
for
will,
decades
but
and
it's the
decades.
unspoken
Of course
rule.
it will.
The reason why I like riding the British Championship,
And that's- we are not
is
slagging
because
observers off because we have got no
not
sport
observers
without
problem. Just
A
I have
little-
eyes.
Yeah, there's a little bit of continuity needed.
What
So-
I like about them is the traditional. I like the flow of the sections.
Me
it's
too.
it's
I'm
cool.
well up for a flowing, moving section
Yeah.
because before I could ride with all the jumping around and etc., the person who taught me to ride no stop was Mick Andrews. So I like a flowing section as much as the next person, but I'm also not going to stand there and be like, "That's the like that's." I'm not talking about the Vic Britain now. I'm just talking about the whole series.
There's only one way. When I was competing and obsessed with competing, a certain observer does not like you because you're competing against his son. And the only way you were going to clean that section was to not stop, keep moving, and keep your feet up.
Yeah.
And that's the only way you can win them.
How'd you learn that, though?
We'll
How'd you
all
learn
have them.
that? By going the trials.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just a conscious decision for me. It looked a great trial.
It
I know
was.
that there was a lot of effort put in. There was pictures on social media of the team from South Shropshire setting up
Oh, it's
for
fantastic.
weeks.
Yeah, like
fair play.
Buzz, Mark Wells was. It's just his life. He puts his heart and soul into it, and so does the rest of the club, and so do all the other clubs. So quickly going back to something you mentioned, and we just went past it. So we're all doing the Ben Rose.
We are.
We're all going to ride the Ben Rose.
I'm going to pull my finger out.
I'll tell you what,
an
Andy-
entry into Andy Foot.
And Margaret put on just one of my favourite trials.
Yeah. They're also, what's catching my eye is they do the long distance trial.
Did you do that on like more of a?
It's more of an enduro bike
For,
or
like Gas Pampera.
yeah, or KTM
Now
free
we're
ride.
talking.
I really fancy doing that.
Yeah,
I
like
really,
Montesa
really,
ride territory.
really do. Yes.
Well,
if anybody
if you
can
do-
lend me something like that,
TRS
I'll do
X
it.
track.
I think there's a
yes,
nice.
Mr. Saunders, lend me one of them, please, and
They're
I'll
nice.
go and do it.
Did you see the new Vertigo?
Abortion.
Oh my goodness me!
I was going to say I liked it.
Really?
That's it. You're
thought
off
it
the
looked like- I
podcast.
thought it looked like some sort of Chinese commuter bike.
I think that's probably why I liked it.
1254 stroke. I was like, oh no.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's-
that was genuinely the first thing that came out of my brain then, wasn't it? There was no filter at all. I just
Not
never
my,
is.
Not my
I know,
cup
I know.
of tea.
Whatever.
But that kind of like, or a beta Alp, that would be perfect.
Yes,
yes, absolutely.
Beta Alp.
Yeah, but we've just named loads of cool, but like quite cool those
Yeah.
bikes, like Gas Pampera, Beta
Yeah.
Alp, Montesa 4-Ride, Vertigo.
Whatever it is.
Moving past that,
I was trying to get Rosie to. I was sitting on one of the Bitter Alps at the classic show. And I thought that is just a fantastic,
they're a mega weapon, aren't they?
bloody good farm bike. Bloody good farm bike.
Round it up, sheep.
Don't count.
Cows.
Sorry, I'm
yet,
mid-Wales.
You're yet to see my cow
ranch.
yodeling.
Yeah, it's next level.
impressive. Isn't it?
Now you won't go believe this, but we're actually we've been yammering through this really fast, and we do need to stop and talk a bit more about our wonderful sponsor, the Trials Bulgaria Holiday Company.
I have a couple of questions on that. Is
Go
that
on then.
right?
Yes, go. Let's find it.
So, is it all year round? Number one.
Not through their winter, because their winter in Bulgaria
Pretty
is
gnarly.
like mental.
Okay.
It's just below Romania. So
Okay, understood.
It's
Yeah.
either red hot or 10 foot of snow.
Yeah, okay.
When I was there, I'm telling you now, it was red hot. Like
They've been proper seasons.
Yeah, okay. And the second question is, what's the website?
Trials Bulgaria.
Holidays.
Right, that's it. I'm sure that's it.
I think
Let's
so.
see.
Trials Bulgaria, and they provide accommodation. They pick you up from the airport. It's
Yep.
like in a traditional enduro motorbike holiday. Okay.
So think traditional enduro motorbike. There we go. Yep. www.trialsbulgaria.com.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm going to read their spiel. You're going to love this.
Okay, I'm listening.
We love a bit of spiel, don't we? If the internet works for me right now. But basically, how it works is you book on,
Yep.
get on a plane.
Okay.
They meet you at the airport, and for no matter how many days you'd like to stay there, they run the trip, and they pick you up, ferry you from the airport to their base of operations, which is
It looks really nice.
honestly, it's such a cool like home
looks
base.
lovely.
And you've done a trial tube on this.
Yeah, I did a trial tube on this.
So we'll go and watch
So
that.
you can check that out as well, where you see me basically go to Bulgaria with a group of Scottish guys.
Looks incredible riding. Just phenomenal.
The guys who actually run it are Scottish. So
Oh, the Scottish lads.
yeah, they're
That's
Scottish
good to
guys.
hear.
With a, expat out there and lived out there for 15 years.
I'm an expat, Scott.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you are, aren't you? Yeah. / Shropshire, and they've got a fleet of stunning TRS 1Rs
Okay.
and 1X track. Which I speak about again on the video.
Yep.
And when I was out there, they honestly, they cannot do enough for you. And if you, in trials, if you value the freedom of riding trials wherever you want to ride,
Yep.
in the morning you wake up, you have the most glorious breakfast. Because I'm telling you now, Rob, who runs it, is like, I'm going to be as close to say that he's like a Michelin star chef.
Okay.
Does like a trial guide go out with you so
Yes.
you don't get lost and
You
by
don't
bears?
get lost. You're out as a group.
Yeah.
But I have never spent, apart from like doing like full day trials, like
Yeah.
like doing stuff, long nationals or whatever.
How'd you go on for petrol stops?
They have petrol stops hidden in the
Nice.
wilderness,
Nice.
like so that they go out days before and everything.
Oh,
and
that's
there's
cool.
fuel stops out on the trails,
That's good.
which is just next level.
It sounds like quite an adventure.
Oh, it's such an adventure! It's
I think we should go and do that. That'd be
it's
fun.
so sick.
That would be epic.
It's epic. The place is
And
cool.
do a podcast over there. That'd be brilliant.
If I'm honest though, it's
Or any other trials holidays.
or any other trials holiday. I think they're the only guys that do it.
I
by
think
the
they
way.
are. I don't know of any others.
There's some Spain ones.
Leclau
Anyway,
58 or
Let's
something
go.
like that in
we'll not
Barcelona.
talk about their competitors.
No, but the the Bulgaria one, I'm telling you, you wake up in the morning, you have the most glorious breakfast ever, and because the food is epic. If I'm like the scenery is epic. It's like Eastern Bloc behind the Iron Curtain.
I've ridden in Romania on one of the enduro ones, and
I have.
it breath took me. But
Yes.
Cebu.
All right.
And
No.
we went to Cebu and then
there's-
went up it through the Carpathians. It was incredible.
Quick question on Bulgaria.
Yeah.
So what have we got? Like rocky gullies, or
We have got-
is it woodland?
You're gonna love this.
Go on.
All of it.
Everything.
Really?
Big rocks, gullies,
Steep
streams,
hills,
steep hill climbs.
Woodlands. It is out of
It's
this world.
It's literally like Trials Planet. Like there is
Whistler for trials.
Whistler for Trials.
That's a good way of
Yeah.
putting
Okay.
it.
Cool.
You've got it. Whistler for Trials. It is a trials destination, definitely. And the hospitality is next level. The care to detail, attention to detail of what a trials rider would enjoy doing.
Okay.
It's all there. And you can ride as little or as much as you like during the day, Like if you have a full hardcore day on the first day, then it's at a place called Motor Camp, which
Okay.
is very famous for people riding like
Adventure bikes.
adventure bikes.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's an adventure bike destination. So you actually stay at Motor Camp, and at night time it's beers and bikes.
You get to meet all the adventure
yeah, you get
riders.
to
That's
meet all
cool.
the adventure bike guys that come
There's a
through.
nice crossover.
Great crossover, great conversation. Definitely something to do if you're a couple, because on the night times you go into the local town, and that's really nice as well.
Sorted woo.
It's just genuinely as an experience
Yeah.
to do in my life.
It's a must.
It's a must, and I'm glad that I did it.
Sounds cracking.
And there's something for everybody. You can be brand new to trials and just enjoying the teetering
and just
around,
enjoy the trail ride around.
or you can go big.
Well, I'm going to check it out. And
Yeah,
thank you,
absolutely.
Trials Bulgaria, for supporting us.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for
you
those
will
guys.
be seeing us, I hope.
Definitely. Now, to wrap up this podcast this week, I think we should just end with a little bit of chat about the men's indoor Barcelona, because we did actually go completely past the men, didn't we? We weren't even bothered about
I
it.
think that's a good idea.
We put the ladies to the forefront, which they deserve to be there,
They
by the
did,
way.
definitely.
During the competition in the ladies, obviously Emma Bristow didn't win, but something that we haven't really reported much on is obviously Emma and James are now in charge of Sherco.
Yes, that's so.
Fantastic.
I never saw that coming. I think it's very good because obviously they're very passionate. They're young. They're driven. They've got the pedigree. I've been that brand for so many years. I think this is a real. Obviously, with the new fuel injected bikes, they're really taking it forward. It's a big push, and I think it's a big. It'll ignite the brand.
Progressive.
Good people to be at the helm, and a good segue from professional.
We know the Rasmussen have done a fantastic job for many years, but I guess it's evolution and things move on.
Yeah, let's be honest. Things change. Things change, and
that's what happens.
Whether we like them or not. Yep.
Yeah, whether people like it or not,
Obviously they were there at the DL12, so she's putting herself right to the front. And James says there was also, I understand, at the Classic Bike Show. They're already grafting. They're already pushing.
I heard
that's fantastic.
I heard they actually got the idea of being at the Classic Show from Kerry Kay. See Kerry, right?
Double mentions.
She watches all of them, by the way.
She phoned me up the other day, wanted to bring some to the trial school.
Well, they should definitely come to. Not that they need to go to the trial school, but they should go and have the experience again. But yeah, definitely, I think the men's, we saw obviously the top three was Tony was on top,
back on top, the king.
I think Tony was. I mean, he always rides well at Barcelona.
Yeah,
it's serious, isn't it? It's home.
It's home.
The crowd's behind him.
Yeah,
it's
there's no messing about.
Yeah, I think he goes up that extra overdrive notch.
I think Tony at Barcelona is to beat Tony.
It's untouchable.
And his I'm going to say the cleanliness of his riding in the sections in the final was a cut above everybody else. But I did notice out of some of the sections he did just what everybody does when they're on the edge. He came out of a section and looked back as if to say,
that was a bit tasty.
He's human.
He's human.
Yeah.
He is human.
You know, obviously people say he's not human in many ways, but
and he still
wasn't
wants it, which is just unreal.
And second place was
Busto. Yeah, Busto wrapped up second place. I do think that Busto's bike has had a power injection.
Do you?
Definitely.
Through the airbox or?
I know he's got bigger airbox, slightly different power curve from the pipe that he's running now.
Okay. It'll be higher compression.
I'm going to be honest. His engine is obviously going to be like
it'll be
freaking
polished
rocket.
and ported and all the whistles and bells.
But I'm going to say
third place was
at Marseille.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gabriel Marseille didn't seem to ignite the riding so much in the final. I don't think.
Podium's a podium.
Yeah, podium's a podium. You know, no doubt, no doubt.
Be in it to win it. For sure.
I mean, Busto only beat him by a mark.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
It was going to be 2 marks, but he had just the most slack landing on the sump in the last section.
Our boy, was he 5th or 6th?
So Toby had a nightmare, didn't he?
Yeah.
So where did he finish up?
I think it was
5th.
I want to say 5th. It might be 6th.
5th on your bad day ain't bad at all.
No, it ain't that bad. I mean, I think he's been riding on fire.
That's pretty impressive.
He just made a mistake in the first lap of the qualifying, not the second lap. The second lap, by the way, he would have finished 3rd.
Wow.
So yeah, he was on fire.
That's something to take home and think about when you're training.
It's still fantastic. We've got a Brit up there. It's
at this level, at this point.
And that's the thing. And we said earlier, the level it is now is the highest it has ever been.
And also, he belongs there. It's not like
yes, correct.
You know, it's legit.
It's not a fluke.
No, he belongs there, and I think we'll see him there a lot more.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Ragger had a nightmare. He was 4th. Well, I say a nightmare, but he was 4th.
Did he have a carb or a?
He had a carb on the bike, yeah. But Emma told me that she's staying injection. Okay. So there you go.
I was watching on some YouTube stuff, and he is really pushing that Sherco now.
Yeah.
He's
he looks comfy.
Oh yeah.
He's not giving up. He's got loads more left in him. Yeah.
Oh no. He's not on daddy duties.
Good.
We've got to start and wrap this one up.
We
guys.
have indeed. So once again, thank you very much for listening or watching the Trialtube podcast. We really appreciate everybody's support. And remember to like, share, subscribe.
Please leave the comments. We love reading them.
Good or bad.
And if
Send them over.
if there's a bad one, fight them for us. Because we are delicate flowers.
I was so proud of our subs getting our back there. So thank you very much.
And we
for
do
everybody
hope you're
defending
enjoying
us.
it. We are having some lovely
Yeah,
feedback.
we're enjoying it, aren't we?
Yes, we're enjoying putting this out there for you. We're enjoying the people in the trials world that just come up and fist pump us and give us a
it's
thumbs up
lovely.
and go, we're enjoying this. So thank you from us all.
Amazing. And so catch the next one. Until next time, though, remember to watch back all of the other Trialtube content because what can I say? It just helps us along nice and steadily.
Keep your feet up.
Keep your feet up. And I'm Danny Butler. Goodbye.
I'm Sandy Plenty. Thanks for watching.
And I'm Stu Day. Tra.